Hi guys, how are you today? We are still in quarantine, but we still want to entertain watch aficionados and collectors from all over the world. Today we do it with Eric Wind, not only Mondani web trusted dealer, but also one of the most renowned and reliable experts on vintage watches. Eric is a former senior specialist at Christie's and has been mentioned in publications such as the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, the New Yorker, Odinky, and today he is here with us. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Georgia. Thanks for allowing me to be here to speak with you. Hope you're doing well. I'm just excited to be part of Mondani Web and excited to answer a few of your questions today.
So, Eric, first question for you. How do you see the watch market now and in the next 6 months?
The vintage market is very strong right now. Of course, the overall volume of transactions has slowed since the quarantine around the world. But I've been able to sell, from my own perspective, a number of very high value pieces, and there's still a lot of hunger for knowledge and hunger for great pieces among the collector community. So I think people are using this time to learn more about vintage watches, engage with other collectors and dealers, and I've seen traffic on my own site up way beyond where it was a couple months ago before this all started, and it sounds, based on conversations I'm having with other dealers, including those part of Mondani Web, that they're seeing a similar situation with increased traffic on their sites.
Which are your 3 favorite vintage watches and why? I mean, we really want to know everything about you.
It's hard to pick a favorite vintage watch. It's sort of like picking a favorite child, but 3 that I find very special and important are the Rolex Submariner. This is a reference 5512 with a neat font style. And the Submariner was really the first luxury watch I wanted. Remember coming across it when I was in junior high school, and my dad and I were looking at them in the store. And always wanted them and loved them since. A watch that I came across early in my vintage watch collecting was a Vulcan Cricket, and that is a watch that was historically worn by presidents from Harry Truman through just about today. And they have a beautiful complication, beautiful dial, beautiful case, and I just find the alarm complication very charming. And then I really like vintage chronographs, and I really find the 1940s ones very special. This one is a Gallet clamshell chronograph from the early 40s with a gray and black dial, and it's just something that gets me excited every time I look at it.
So last question for you. Do you have a couple of tips for our Instagram followers who want to collect and invest in vintage timepieces? Because this is the $1 million questions. Many of my followers always ask me, how can I invest in watches? What can I buy? So tell us your opinion.
The first advice I give any new collector is that condition trumps rarity, rarity, rarity. The biggest mistake new collectors make is trying to go for a more desirable example of a reference, but getting one in poor condition. And that is a surefire way to basically buy a problematic watch that's going to be hard to sell in the future. And I think it's very important to work with a trusted dealer or advisor or someone who can help guide you in your journey. It's very important to know who to trust and what you can really use as resources in your collecting in terms of books, websites, and other collectors that you can trust. So those are 2 basic pieces of information, and if you want to hear a sort of fuller explanation of those things, you can watch my talk to the Horological Society of New York that I gave last year, and it's on YouTube. Thank you, Georgia.
Eric, hey, come here. Do you have a secret advice for me, just for me, for investing in the best vintage watch?